Hello everyone and welcome to Gambit 101, where I'm going to be teaching you the basics of Gambit and how to improve yourself, maybe with some basic techniques first and then something a little more advanced that I've been experimenting with and have found at least a good amount of success with. So this is my typical regular Gambit setup. So as you can see, no Gambit Prime stuff. I went way of the sharpshooter, bottom tree. I went Huckleberry, last man standing, avalanche, and then all of my stuff may be void, but I try to build it so that it complements all the weapons. So machine gun targeting, scatter projectile, large weapon loader, grenade launcher reserves is not the way to go, but I accidentally swapped that. That was a bit of a mistake. Go ahead and do that real quick. There we go. Might as well just put that there. Why not? And then, basically, what we're going to do is we're going to have an ad clear. This is going to be for the big guys, like the blockers. And this is going to be the machine gun. So, and then, bottom tree sharpshooter with NIGHTHAWK. So, for the new light players, I have no idea what any of this means. Let me try to explain it in a little more detail. Huckleberry is an exotic that with Ride the Bull, it increases rate of fire as you hold down the trigger, and it increases the recoil while holding down the trigger. So on console, this may be a little bit more difficult to control, but on PC, it's pretty manageable. Kills with the weapon reloaded portion of the magazine. Now, I have the catalyst, which actually reloads the entire magazine per kill. There are some caveats to this, because if you get the kill with the last, 2 bullets of the magazine, it doesn't pick up on the refill, so you're going to go ahead and do the reload animation whether you like it or not. I love this gun because it has fluted barrel, ricochet rounds, rampage. The short action stock is okay. You can pull it out in a pinch. Now, last man standing. You can also use, as I have here, Python, because it has 1-2 punch and overflow, so it does have its own advantages over last man standing. But last man standing with 1-2 punch is actually really good on medium blockers / the captains that are the blockers. So this is not an okay role. It gets the job done, and that's what matters. And then avalanche is going to be our invader killer. So usually when I do a loadout, I try to have an adds dealer, a larger guy dealer, and then an invader killer, and then this is straight DPS. With NIGHTHAWK, when you pair this up... Oh, come on, stop it. Alright, Hawkeye Hack modifies golden gun to fire a single high damage shot. Enemy is eliminated by the shot explode and grants you super energy. So, this basically makes it extremely high DPS with bottom tree, because you can actually do precision damage with this. Top tree you cannot. Middle tree is Blade Barrage, which I should get into skills in another video. Again, rest of the loadout, stats wise, I always prefer 100 recovery just so that I can recover health quickly. Resilience, that's just the side effects of trying to build up to 100 recovery, and so are the rest of these. I usually try to either get a high discipline or a high intellect if possible. Now, Gambit Prime differs a little bit. I'm actually going to change my loadout to kind of fit Gambit Prime. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this and then switch over to Raid and Flux and have way of the current Arc Strider. Oh, wait, no. Hold on. That's a little bit better. Now, I'm doing a little bit more of an advanced technique, because you're wondering why I went Arc Strider. Is because I tend to go with a build more like this. So as you can see, double shotguns, and then avalanche is still going to be my invader killer, and this is going to be part of my adds dealing, while Python is now going to be taking the secondary role of boss killer, and Perfect Paradox is going to be part of the adds clearing as well. Now, it only has 8 magazine, and I think there's 15 in the reserve, so I think 23 total, and this is about 17 or 18 as well. So you can one-shot any red bar in the game with that, which is good. As you can see, I don't have any masterwork. That's because I got this from doing the beginning of the season. This was my first drop that I got. It runs Demolition as Swashbuckler, so it's actually good at what it does, and it also allows me to spam the frags as I please. So, usually a loadout that I tend to prefer. It's a little more advanced, but also, when I'm doing Gambit Prime, I now have Pinata of Death, which is rapidly defeating multiple combatants, drops special ammo for allies. I think that also applies to you as well. I'm pretty sure it does. And that way you'll keep your shotgun flow flowing. And if not, hopefully you'll have your super by then, and then you'll be able to unleash that upon the ads and be able to get at least some of your special back. With this setup, I usually have a heavy brick before first invading, or first invader I should say. And also avalanche can be used in a pinch as a ads clear as well, if you have enough heavy bricks to do it. Some matches I've had so many heavy bricks that I've had to actually go around and collect them in the arena. That said, I will do a match to kind of exemplify how good this setup can be. I will do live commentary, I guess, while I do so. So the setup's usually pretty good. This is mostly with a focus of ads clearing and quickly taking out blockers. So it kind of has a primary function and secondary function, and usually if you do not have 2 Reaper plus 3 armor pieces that you can get via the Reckoning, which I should explain also a little bit later in another video, is you can also do the Reaper synth, which actually gives you a +3 for 30 minutes. Now if we look back here, we now have +9. So we still have 100 recovery, we still have some of these stats over here. I can actually probably try and explain it while I'm doing Gambit Prime. So Gambit Prime, you are going to be getting these synths for doing certain things, or you can get bounties from Drifter, which I explained in the very first video who Drifter was and what he did. Gather enough of these synths, and you can go into Reckoning, which I will show you shortly after doing this match. I think it's dropping me into... No? Alright, it's a fresh game. The thing I like about Gambit Prime more than regular Gambit is that it's 1 round. That's it. Regular Gambit has 3 rounds. Best of 3, you win. If you go into overtime, you get full super. I don't think you get any heavy. Although it could be a mistake. I'm pretty sure you don't. And it's basically a race to the finish. No second chance this time. 1 round. Winner takes all. And that is why getting these armors are very important.
You ever have to fight a thrall bear? You grab the skull and squeeze.
Alright. So I'm not feeling too good today, so we're going to give this a shot and see how it turns out. I'm not going to promise anything. Usually I can do pretty good.
Incoming hostiles at the ring.
Go ahead and do that. That works as well.
Hostiles incoming in command.
Alright, now we gotta head over to command. Now it's gonna make me out to be a liar. Alright. I'm gonna run this back. Yeah, there's been no heavy.
Incoming hostiles at the ring.
Oops. Nope.
Blocked into the other side. You're a horrible person. Portal's prime. Go make
Because a demolitionist from Perfect Paradox. Yeah, I was surrounded. Kinda got myself in that bit of a jam. We're doing good so far.
invaders down and out. They're heading back.
And a little bit of frame drop. I apologize for that. Wouldn't be a good teammate.
Ready.
Wow. Not making my shots today. Alright, there's all the heavy.
Blockers die. High value targets on the field. Hunt it down. Invader incoming.
Alright. Now I need to find... He's over here.
Hey, you didn't start that fight. You finished.
There we go.
Allies headed to the other side.
There we go.
Medium blocker outbound.
You usually should wait so you can drain motes. There you go. Go ahead and take them. Alright.
The other side. Invaders here. Brace yourself.
Nope. He's over the near bank.
Almost. Bank and get that primeval out.
Well. As you can see, I've been doing my job very well, except for
You'll get 'em next time.
staying alive.
Back with 3 guardians down. Glad they're all
Honestly, I'm not feeling too hot, so... Yeah, we probably should time depositing those motes, but... It's neither here nor there. More heavy.
summon primeval. If they kill it, they win this. Portal's ready.
Oh, I need to go over here.
Allies invading. Incoming hostiles at the ring.
A little bit of frame drop, that's fine too, I guess. Holy crap.
Back, and they killed 4 guards. You want to be a bad guy? That's how. Almost. Bank and get that primeval out there. Not over. Kill that primeval.
Alright, they're over here. I think there's a hair on my, laser mouse. Laser of the mouse. Alright, and now the spawns rotate in a clockwise fashion. So I really have nothing else to spend the heavy on. Always make sure to have the enemy face your teammates, and I'm out of bullets. So I'm gonna move over here. Well, there was more heavy. There we go. And we won. Let's see if that bug out bag's any good. Send moment high impact. No, thank you.
See, the Vanguard don't appreciate you like
Whew.
you kill yourself out here every day. Drift a nose.
And as always put a good GG in there. So, a couple of tips for Gambit Prime. It's only one match, so that's why I feel like this is an ideal setup. It works very well. I probably could have popped Arc Strider sooner in order to clear out one of the areas, and I probably wouldn't have died in that one situation, but, you know, it still worked out for the best. Having two of these really helps out with keeping your shotgun economy. I probably could have switched over to Perfect Paradox, but it doesn't have 1-2 punch. I do have a last man standing with 1-2 punch. I probably could have swapped out and used instead, and I would have probably been just as okay. Either way, it all worked out in the end. In terms of Gambit, it's 3 rounds, lasts a little bit longer. Setup's a little bit different. I would still go ahead and do this if I were doing my advanced setup, but I would probably swap out to Gunslinger Nighthawk, just to be able to have that DPS for when the stacks add up. And also on top of that, when third round happens and it goes into overtime, if you can learn this trick, it'll save you a lot of hassle with randoms and all of that. One of the things you want to do in the third round is to be able to unequip this quickly and equip Shards of Galanor. Once you equip Shards of Galanor, quickly switch this over to Blade Barrage. Now, if you remember what I said earlier, your super gets filled up on the third round. Now, it doesn't get filled up until you get spawned into the match, which means between matches, you're in the waiting room. You are supposed to do this either in the waiting room or if you know that it's going into the third match after the second round. But usually I end up doing it in the waiting room because the loading screen pops up and then I can't do it, and it's a whole thing. So, all of that said, those are some good tips to probably help you out. Hopefully they help you out. I know that I've been trying to change my techniques and strategies, and sometimes they do change overall. And I will probably cover some of the metas, some of the roles of weapons, and what you should look for down the road. For now, that's just kind of a basic overlook on the on Gambit and how to get better at it. You can go ahead and give it a shot, see if you like it. If not, usually working what's best for you tends to, work. So, alright, with all of that said and done, I would like to thank everybody who took the time to watch. because, you know, I really do like this game, and I'm glad that other people do as well, at least enough to be able to learn how to get better at it. I will be covering other topics. If you want any immediately, be sure to leave a comment below, and I will try to work on it as soon as I can. Thank you so much for your time, and I will see you all in the next video.